Hello everyone, what's up? Today we are going to learn how to create a simple CRUD operation by using Nodejs and MySQL database. Previously we have seen how to create a CRUD operation by using Nodejs and MongoDB. This time we are going to use MySQL, and here are some of my playlists you can follow to learn more about JavaScript, Node.js and PHP. We have vanilla JavaScript playlist, we have Node.js basic to advanced. Here you can find all the project I have made using Node.js, and here we have PHP beginner to pro with project. And if you are more interested about front-end development, that's totally fine. We also have tutorial for reactjs beginner to pro with project. So at the same time you are creating a project and learning the technology behind it. Okay, and we also have some tutorials on HTML, CSS and front-end frameworks like semantic UI, bootstrap and many more. Enough talking, let's actually previously we have made this video Node.js, Express, MongoDB, CRUD operation. Don't worry, I will add this link in the description of this video. Okay, so if you want to learn more about Node.js, how to create a CRUD operation using MongoDB database, then you can follow this tutorial. Okay, we also have some tutorial on Node.js, uploading file using MongoDB as binary file, how to send email using Node.js and NodeMailer, sign in, sign up, login system. And we also have uploading to Cloudinary. This is a great platform to upload any image or any files. Okay, enough marketing, let's get into the tutorial. At first, prerequisite for this tutorial, I want you to know basics of JavaScript and basics of HTML, CSS. We'll need some kind of text editor, for example Visual Studio Code or Atom. For this tutorial I am going with Atom, but you can do the same with Visual Studio Code. Just download it. And for running MySQL you need some kind of server. I am going to use Xampp. This is very simple for Linux user. I am using Linux. I will download it. If you are using Windows, then you just need to click this. Installing Xampp on Windows is very simple, but for Linux it's little bit difficult. Don't worry, I'll show you how to install Xampp on Linux. I have downloaded both Atom and Xampp, so open it, show in folder. For installing Xampp on Linux you have to open your terminal, but in Windows installation is very straightforward. You just need to click next few times, but for Linux you just need to run few commands, ls la to permit our installer. Execute permission, we just need to write chmod GOA is equal, actually we can do like this, 7557 mean read, write and execute, 5 means read and write, Xampp and press tab. Once again run ls la. You see now this is executable. Now you need to run sudo /exampp. Enter your password of your user. Actually I already have installed Xampp, so I don't need to install once again. You just need to click next few times. Okay, abort. I am aborting the installation. Once you have installed Xampp, you just need to navigate to the folder cd opt, and inside opt we have a folder lamp. Once again see what inside the lamp folder. We have a manager Linux run. We just need to copy this, copy sudo and paste it. Ctrl Shift V for pasting anything inside terminal. Here the Linux control panel, Xampp control panel has been open. So on Windows, once you have installed Xampp successfully, you just need to search for control panel, Xampp control panel. You just need to search Xampp control panel. You can find this Xampp control panel. Now the MySQL database is running. We can close our control panel and we can also close our terminal. Now next, go to programs. Inside program we have downloaded Atom. On Windows, Atom installation is very simple. You just need to click next few times, but in Linux it is also very simple because it is a deb file. Everything installation file is been precised. You just need to install package. You have to put your password. For Nodejs download, click on downloads. For Linux user, you can go with install Nodejs by package manager. If you are on Ubuntu or Ubuntu based Linux distribution, you just need to go to Linux Nodejs binary distribution. From here you can find all the command to install Nodejs on Linux. Here is the commands. Okay, if you want Nodejs version 16, you need to follow these commands. If you are using Nodejs 15, you have to follow these commands. Okay, but for Windows user, installation is very straightforward as our other software. You just need to click on home. You see, you can go with LTS or current, it doesn't matter, actually both are same. LTS, Nodejs LTS, search for this one. We need to use this since we are not using as root, so we need to copy this. Ctrl Shift V for pasting on the terminal, and next we need to use this command, this two simple command to install Nodejs, and it will install Nodejs on my system. It will take few minutes or few seconds, depends on your internet connection and your PC speed, so wait until the process is done. Okay, Atom is installed, so search for Atom. Yeah, it is installed successfully. Open Atom. On my desktop I want to create a folder. On my desktop I want to create a folder with name of Nodejs CRUD. Okay, open the folder using Atom. Close all the welcome screen. Open project, add project folder. Go to desktop where you have created the folder. Okay, now inside it I am going to open my terminal. If you are on Windows, you can use PowerShell or command line. You just need to copy the URL. Okay, now open PowerShell or command prompt, both are same. Or something else you can do, you just need to go here and type cmd and press enter. It's in Linux, that's why it's not working, but in Windows it will work. Okay, open your terminal or PowerShell or command prompt and cd to the directory where our Nodejs CRUD folder is located, that we have copied from here. Okay, that we have copied from here. Copy it and paste it, press enter. ls nothing in here. Now we need to initialize our Nodejs project. The way we are going to initialize is npm init. It will ask for the package name. It asking for package name. We are going to make it default Nodejs CRUD, version default, entry point will be app.js, and test command, we don't need any test command. Keywords, okay, author, I am going to put my name, you can put yours. Okay, yes. Next, inside the project folder we will have a file package.json. Here we are going to create our app.js. Okay, very fast thing first we need to do is we need to install Express to set up a Express server. Npm install Express. It will take few seconds to install Express server. Actually, let's do it. Const express is equal require express. Const app is equal express. This is how we need to set up our simple Express server. App.listen. We need to set a open port, for example 5000, 3000, 8000. You can choose any of the open port. I am going to choose 5000, and we'll have a callback function console.log. Once the port is listening, it will say something. Server is running on port 5000. Actually, let's run the app first. Node app.js. Server is running on port 5000. App is running successfully. Now next we need to install Nodemon. Npm install g. Since we are installing globally, we need to put sudo to take permission from the user. Okay, Nodemon is for running Node.js app continuously. For example, if we update anything inside our code, the Nodemon will update automatically and run it once again. But by using Node app.js, it will not update. So we need to use Nodemon app.js. Yes, server is running port 5000. The smartest way we can do, we can install Nodemon on our development dependency by using npm install Nodemon -d with uppercase. It will install Nodemon as our development dependency. Go to package.json. Inside our script we can write one more script, dev for development dependency. This should be lowercase, Nodemon app.js, and start. This should be node app.js. okay, Nodemon is installed. No, actually it is not installed it, so wait until the installation is done. So npm run dev. This was our script dev. Okay, this will run Nodemon app.js. This works same as Nodemon app.js. okay, Control C, npm start. This will start this script, node app.js. okay, but we want to run this on Nodemon. Npm run dev. Server is running port 5000. Let's create a simple get request app.get. To create simple get request, at first you need to give the endpoint. The endpoint / mean the root. Okay, there actually will have two parameter. We can give it three parameter: a request, response, and next. Okay, what this request parameter do? It will ask anything from the body or the headers, and the response will send to the client. Okay, let me show you. res.send, we can send anything, for example HTML. We can send as HTML h1, write anything, hello world. Okay, save it, and it's running continuously. So go to the browser and localhost. What was our port number? It was 5000, and press enter. It's saying hello world, and right click, inspect. You see this is JSON, and you don't need to give a / since we are on the root. You can just give like this API, save it, and this time it will not work. You have to put, you see, cannot get. That means there is no get request with this endpoint of root. You need to put API after this. This is our endpoint. Okay, now we will not send it as JSON, we will send it as JSON format. Response.status, the status code will be 200. Okay, that means success.json. Message would be, actually this would be inside curly braces, so give the curly braces and success. Save it once again, reload the page. You see this is now JSON format, is saying message success. Okay, now let's set up our MySQL database. MySQL, search for MySQL, npm. We need to install this dependency. Just click here, it will copy automatically and paste it on your terminal. I am going to open new terminal by using new tab. What you can do is Ctrl+C, Ctrl+Shift+V, install MySQL. After that, run the same command, npm run dev. It will run our server once again, but now we have set up our MySQLs. Actually now we have installed our MySQL dependency. Next we have to do some setup. At first we need to create a connection. We can just copy this. Actually we can write by ourselves. Let's write it. Above this app, const MySQL is equal require MySQL. Let's create a connection with MySQL. MySQL dot create connection, curly braces. Inside this curly braces we need to put some option. First option will be host. For now it's blank. User, this is also blank. Password, this is also blank. And next we'll have database. database. This is also blank as well, and we can take it inside a variable const connection is equal MySQL create connection. We have created the connection. Let's connect con.connect. we are going to connect with the database by using this method. We'll have a callback function. There will be a parameter of error, and inside this callback function, let's check if there is any error. Throw that error. Okay, console log if there is no error. DB is connected successfully, and comma con.thread id. Now still it will actually DB is connected successfully, it's saying, but it is not connected successfully. We haven't put any config information, host, user, password or database. We need to create that. To create this credential, open your terminal or PowerShell once again, and in new tab, okay, in here cd2 opt. For Linux user you just need to go like this, but for Windows user you can search for Xampp control panel. From here there you need to start your Apache server as well. Apt opt lamp ls and sudo manager linux x64 run, control shift c, control shift v. It will ask you for password, administration password. Okay, for manage server you also need to start this Apache web server. Okay, start it, and from the browser you just need to go to localhost / PhpMyAdmin. Okay, and it will take you to the PhpMyAdmin. It may ask for username and password. You just need to put admin and admin as username and as password, both the same. Okay, let's at first set up the user accounts. We are going to create a new user. We already have a user root or Sion. In root you can see there is no password. You can just put like this, user as root and password blank. Host name would be localhost. Okay, from the user accounts add a new user. Username will be admin, host will be localhost, and password will be admin, and retype password admin. Okay, we want to run as localhost and grant all permission and go. It will create a new user. Okay, go. Okay, user accounts. Now we have a user. That username is admin, and that has a password. So let's change it. This user would be admin and password would be admin. Database, let's create a database. Create new, and database name will be Nodejs _CRUD. Type it here, node _CRUD. Was it same? Yes, it is same. Actually in Nodejs CRUD there will be 4 columns. Actually we can go with 3 columns, and the first table name will be players. Go. The first table name will be id type will be integer, and length will be 11 and it is auto incremented. AI comments, okay, auto incremented, and name will be varchar 255 maximum length, club will be varchar 255 of length. Okay, now click on go, save. Yes, we have created a simple table with name of players. Go to database, here it is. Okay, next, actually we can close it from here, we don't need it anymore. Once again check on your terminal what it is running. Yes, database is connected successfully. Actually we are going to create a simple REST API. If you don't know what REST API is, I'll put the link in the description where I have discussed what REST API is, and by watching that video you will easily understand what REST API is. So let's create a folder with name of routes. Inside routes we'll have a file players.js. Inside players.js, let's at first import express. Const express is equal require express. Const router is equal express dot router. Okay, module dot exports is equal router. We need to export it and import this router inside app.js. Const from expressjs.com you can see the routing. Go to guide routing, from here go down below, you see how to use express router, the very simple way. Okay, we can create a get request, post request by using express router. Let's create that post request, control X and control V. Instead of app we need to use router. This API should not be here. Players, we can write that API in here. Actually players, this should be players route, player. Now in below this connection we can do app.use quotation mark / API. Here we can write that API comma player router. This should be route, not router. Okay, now this time all the route from this player route will start with this API. Okay, let's check. Now this time the endpoint will be like this: localhost 5000 / API / players. Where this API coming from? This API coming from this app.js API. All the route start with this. I said it. Okay, let's cut it and paste it inside the browser. Let's check it out. It's saying message success, that means it is working perfectly. Next we'll create a simple post request. Just copy this and paste it down below here. This would be a post request. You can do the same endpoint with different request. you cannot do the get request with same actually we cannot do two get request with same endpoint. Actually you cannot do the same get request with same endpoint, whether you need to change the endpoint or you need to change the request method. For example, you can change post, get to post, or put or delete, something like that. For now I am going with post. To add any data you need to use post, okay, and here I am going to add some data, that's why I am adding this add at the end, okay. You can keep like this, but I'll do like this, so it will be more sensible. Before that, what we can do, we can just keep this thing separate from this file, okay. So let's do it. At first I am going to create one more folder with name of config. Inside config we'll have a file db.js. Here we'll have a db config file. We'll create, actually let me cut it from here and paste it here as well. Module dot exports is equal connection. This thing we need to export from here and import it inside here. Const con is equal require config / db.js. Here this con is coming from this db and this is using it here, okay. Let's use the same thing inside our player.js, okay, but this time there should be two dot because we are going one step backward. This we are inside this routes folder. One step backward mean we are inside this Nodejs CRUD folder. Inside Nodejs CRUD folder we have this config folder, and inside this config folder we have db.js, okay. Now we can use this con, okay. Inside this post request, at first let's create a query. SQL query is equal, inside this two quotation mark will have some query, and below here just write con dot query is SQL comma, here will be a callback function. Error, first parameter will be error, second parameter will be data or result, whatever you called, and here is our callback function. If there is any error, I want to print that error dot log console dot error. It make more sense. Error, else log console log the result, and comment the response status. Now we need to put this SQL query. Go to PhpMyAdmin. From here go click on this table players, and from players go to SQL and insert. Here we can insert a player. Just copy this query and paste it above here. We can't paste like this, we need to do like this. Insert into players. There will be no quotation mark or no backticks, okay. Now the first bracket begins. In here you need to put id comma name comma, since the id is auto incremented, it will increment automatically, so we don't need to put that id, and the value of these two field will be values. Value 1 will be, for example, name is Neymar jr and comma, second the club of Neymar jr is PSG. Let's try it out, save it, and the post route is add. Okay, so let's try it. Players API players / add. It's not working since it is a post request. This will not work on the browser, so we need to use something called, actually there is something went wrong, MySQL is not defined. So go to here, actually not here, here, this, there should be MySQL app.js, copy this MySQL, Control X, cut it from here and paste it here as well, save it. Once again go to the browser / add. It's saying cannot get, there is no get request. It is true, we have the post request, not the get request. Okay, we have post request with this endpoint. Now on the console you see DB is connected successfully. Go to PhpMyAdmin and go to players. Is there any players added? No, it's not. Actually this doesn't add any players. We need to make that request by using Postman. Installing Postman is very simple. Go to Postman. This is the front-end client we can use of. What is Postman? Postman is collaboration platform for API development. Actually this is a front-end client for sending requests to the server. Okay, so we need to use Postman. Create one more. Okay, this would be a post request, and the post request will be http localhost / localhost. What is our endpoint? Localhost 5000. Don't forget about this. Don't forget about this port number. Our endpoint was API players add. Okay, now we don't need to put anything inside params, headers or body. Later on we can put it. Sending request. Go to terminal. It's saying undefined. Something went wrong in here. Okay, now I said if there is any error, throw that error, and else successfully inserted. So let's try it out. The values of name is Neymar jr and the values of club is PSG. Okay, so let's try it out. Once again go to your Postman. This is our URL and this is a post request, and send it. Open your terminal. You can see successfully inserted. Now once again open your browser, go to PhpMyAdmin. From PhpMyAdmin go to players, and here you see we have one new record. The name is Neymar and club is PSG. Okay, that means it's working perfectly. Now the next thing we need to do, we need to create it more securely. Actually this is most vulnerable right now, so let's make it secure. Const values is, there will be an array of name. This name is Neymar jr. Instead of Neymar we can make it Messi, and club Barcelona, FC Barcelona. Okay, after this SQL we need to put that values inside this array. Okay, in the place of this two value we can just put like this question mark. This question mark will actually, this question mark refer to this value, and this is an array. We have array of two value. First value is Messi and second value is Barcelona. Second value is for club and first is for name. Save it once again. Open your Postman, send the request. Terminal, you see successfully inserted. Open your PhpMyAdmin. Let's try it once again. PhpMyAdmin. From here, this is our database, Nodejs CRUD players. This is players. You see, name is Messi and club is Barcelona. Okay, that means it is working perfectly, but I want this value is we retrieve from our body or the client that want to add the user or actually add the player. Okay, that means from browser or any client option, for example Postman, I want to add that value. Okay, so let's do it. In app.js we need to set up two middleware, okay, for getting any value from the user. App.use, we want to get that value as JSON format, so just write express.json. so all the value we get from user is JSON. Okay, app.use express URL encoded extended false. Okay, we need to add this two line. For reference I have added that. Okay, we need to add this two line. Now we can get the value and we can paste the value like this: request.body.name and request.body.club. okay, save it. Make sure this after this request body, this name should be match. Okay, so let me copy this name and go to Postman. Inside body we need to put it here. Okay, so we are using JSON to getting any data, so go to raw data and application JSON. Okay, curly braces, and first one was name. The name would be Eden Hazard, and the club second value was the actually second parameter was the club. Okay, so let's make it club. This should be Real Madrid. Okay, now send it. Open your terminal. You see successfully inserted. Go to PhpMyAdmin once again, reload the page. You see name is Eden Hazard and club is Real Madrid. That means we are getting the value from Postman and it is successfully working. Now next thing, we need to redirect after successfully inserted. So res.redirect, we want to redirect to API/players. Okay, let's try it out once again. Send it. You see we are getting message success. This message success is getting from this get request. We have redirected to this get request. Okay, so we are getting this response back. Okay, once again go to PhpMyAdmin, reload it. You see Kylian Mbappe PSG. Okay, next we want to get all the players by using on request. Okay, so let's do it. At first, const SQL, make the SQL query, select all. For all you need to put star sign from players. Actually, let's comment it out below. Here we can do con dot query, and inside this query first parameter will be SQL, comma, second parameter will be the function, error and result. This is a callback function, so just do like this. If there is any error, throw that error, throw error, otherwise we can respond like this. Control X, cut it from here and paste it here. We want to respond as a JSON format like this. Result page, copy the URL, copy and paste it from here, paste it here, and this would be a get request, and the endpoint ends with players, and we don't need to pass any body parameters in here. Let's try it out. You see we are getting that result. ID 11 is Neymar Jr. name. Next ID 12 play Messi, Club Barcelona, and next Eden Hazard, Real Madrid. That means we are getting all the data from the database successfully. It is working. Okay, now let's create a put request for updating players information. Okay, so let me copy this post request, paste it below here. Instead of post, let's make it put, and instead of add, this should be update. Okay, we need to change the SQL query, so give a backticks instead of double or single quotation mark. We are going to use backticks. Update players and set name is equal single quotation mark and curly braces, $sign curly braces. There will be name. This name will come from here. Const name is equal request dot body dot name. Actually we can just do like this. Request body, we can do JavaScript destructuring like this, name and club, both are same. Okay, so let me get rid of this name, and with a comma, club is equal single quotation mark and $sign curly braces club. Okay, we don't need this value anymore since we have set the club and name in here. Okay, and we need to give this where clause, where id is equal question mark. This question mark we can get from here. After this SQL, there should be a array of id. Id will come from request dot params dot id. Actually I did it previously, and this request dot param dot id will come from here. After this update we need to give a colon id. Okay, whatever id we pass inside in our put request we can get from here. Okay, let's try it out. Once again go to Postman. Before updating, actually let me check all the record we have. We have Kylian Mbappe with PSG, so this is id of 14. Let's update it. id 14, let's update this. Open Postman. Okay, once you have opened Postman, go to post request. You have made previously, duplicate tab. Here instead of post we have to make it put. Instead of add, this should be update, and we have set colon id. This colon id should be 14 since we want to update Kylian Mbappe from Paris Saint-Germain, and this is Kylian Mbappe Paris Saint-Germain. Let's change it to only Mbappe. Let's try it out, send it, and see. Let's go to the browser and once again reload the page. This should be only Mbappe and this is Paris Saint-Germain. That means update is working perfectly. Let's try it out once again with another value. For example, let's try it with 11, this Neymar JR. Instead of Neymar JR we can set it Edinson Cavani. id is 11. Okay, this body should be Neymar JR, but we have to change it to Edinson Cavani, and club is Man UTD. Okay, let's send it. This is id of 11. Once again go to PhpMyAdmin, reload the page. You see on id 11 we have name Edinson Cavani and club Manchester United. There is no Neymar JR in here. Okay, now the very next and very last thing we are going to do is we are going to delete and record. Okay, so let me copy this and paste it here as well. Instead of this put request we are going to make a delete request. Okay, so delete, this should be delete. Let's change the SQL query. Delete from layers where id is equal a question mark. This id we can actually we don't need this anymore since we are not getting any data from the body. So this id will get from this, from here, the URL. Okay, so let's try it out. Delete any of them. For example, we are going to delete Edinson Cavani, that was id of 11. So let's copy it and go to Postman, duplicate tab. Instead of put we have to make a delete request, and there should be delete route. We don't need any body, we can get rid of this like this. Okay, none. Send a request, and something went wrong maybe. Yes, it's saying id syntax error, missing a. Okay, let's try it out. What's wrong? I missed this. Actually I missed this comma from here as well, from both here and above here. Okay, we have everything set. Let's try it out once again. Send the request and it's saying success. Let's go to PhpMyAdmin layers. It's saying there is no Edinson Cavani, only 3 rows we have left. That means create, read, update, delete, all of them are working successfully, but there is no front end. We can use reactjs for front end. Also we can use EJS view engine for server side rendering or handlebars or something like that. Let's use EJS for now. So at first we need to install EJS. Create a new tab. Okay, npm install EJS. Okay, once you have installed EJS, you need to set up EJS app.js. Below this, above this we have to set app.set. Make sure the spelling is same as mine. Engine, this should be EJS. Okay, and once you have set view engine as EJS, by default it will look for views folder. Since we don't have any views folder, let's create one. Views. Okay, inside views folder we'll have index.ejs and we will have another add flare.ejs. Actually let's make it flare.ejs. That's all. Let's try it out. I think we have to use EJS layout, so let's do it. EJS layout npm. Okay, we have to install it as well. Copy and paste it on the terminal. Install it. How to set up, you can see in here there is setup option. Let me copy this line, paste it inside app.js. Below this express we need to paste it here. Okay, next we have to paste this app.use layout. Okay, below here. Okay, next we can create a file with name of EJS, so let's do it. Actually we can create a file with name of layout.ejs. Here we are going to set up our bootstrap. Let's copy bootstrap starter template, copy from here and paste it here as well, and let's use our first route. This was players. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, let's use this first on players. Okay, go to browser, localhost 5000 /API/players. It's saying something went wrong. Okay, it's saying everything working, but there is something went wrong in here. Actually, let me comment it out. Let's try it out once again. Okay, something is not working. We need to pass this body in here inside our layout.ejs. Okay, otherwise it will not work, so let's pass it here as well. Body. Let's try it out once again. Okay, still it is not working. Actually we need to render, I think. Let's render it. res.render. index index.ejs. You can give the extension or you cannot. Actually it doesn't matter, it's totally up to you, both are same. Okay, let's try it out. Yes, it is working now. You see this hello world is coming from this layout. Okay, let's get rid of this and take it inside index.js, index.ejs, not js. Okay, save it and it will work same as previous. Okay, now I want to get a component of navbar, so let's get it. Navbar, where it is? Yes, here it is. I want very simple one. This looks simple. Actually, let's work with it. Copy and create one more folder, partials. Create this folder inside views folder and navbar.ejs. Okay, let's include this navbar inside our layout. Okay, we can include our navbar inside this layout before this body, so let's include it here and 2% sign on with dash, and here CINCLUDE include, where it is inside partials / navbar. Let's check it out, it is working or not. Hello world, navbar is working or not. Let's reload. It is working perfectly, but we don't want this hello world. Instead we can do is, actually let's close this navbar. Instead of this hello world, let's make a table. So go to Bootstrap, search for table. I think inside content we have tables. Yes, it is. Okay, let's get the first one. Let me copy this table and paste it here as well. Actually, let me take it inside a container class. So div class will be container. This container class is coming for Bootstrap, so don't worry. Actually we need to copy this table once again, paste it here and save it. Let's reload the page. It should look like a table. Yes, it is looking like a table. Let's first, this one should be serial number, second one will be name, third column will be club, last column will be ID. Okay, the name, those will get from the database, so let's do it. To getting it from the database, we need to pass inside our view engine EJS. To pass inside our view engine, whatever result we get, we need to pass inside this render index. Okay, so to pass it, we need to do like this. This is the variable name. You can name anything you want. I am naming it docs, and result, this should not be 0, this should be only result. So let's do it. Yeah, it's working perfectly. I need to loop through all the items. So actually let's make it more sensible. Let's set the variable with name of players, so it is more sensible. And in index.ejs, since we are rendering this index.ejs, okay, we can use that variable inside this file. Okay, so let's do it. At first we need to give a less than and greater than sign, in between them two percentage sign. In here we need to create a loop. Players, it was the name of our variable, players dot for each, and in here we need to create a callback function. The callback function variable will be player, no plural number, this is a singular number. Okay, and in here actually we need to close this starting less than and percentage. In here we need to close it, and we need to start it once again in here. Okay, in between them we can write some HTML, so let's do it. Actually this thing should be inside tr tag, Control X tr. Okay, and in here there will be a td tag. Inside td will have a player dot, actually this should be inside less than and greater than 2 percentage sign and on dash. Okay, player dot, first one is serial number. Actually let's keep this on. Second one is name. Let me copy this and paste it below. This is for club and this is for id, club, and last one is for id. How do we get serial number? Actually we can set the index of our array, so let's do it. Let me paste it here as well. Instead of player we can set another variable in here, player index, p index comma plus 1. p index index on of any array start with 0, so we need to count from 1 for serial number. So let's do it. Index plus 1, it will start with 1. Okay, so let's check it out on your browser, reload the page. It's looking perfect, but something went wrong. We need to make it vertically aligned, so I think this tr tag should be in here. Control X, Control V. Okay, Control X and Control V. Once again save it and reload the page. Yes, it's working perfectly now. You see serial number, name, club, and id. Let's make the table dark. Table dark. I think we need one more table column, so copy it and paste it below here. This should be action, for example update or delete. So let me copy this and paste it below here. This is for updating and deleting, so let's create a button, save it, and we need another attribute, that is href, and inside href we can paste the link of our id. So let's paste it. How we can paste it? We need to give a less than and greater than sign, in between them 2 percentage sign, one with dash, starter on with dash. Okay, player dot id. Okay, /api /players /update we want to get this update endpoint. Where is this update endpoint? We want to get this. Okay, so let's get it. Get rid of this less than sign, we don't need it. Actually do the same for delete. Copy and paste it. When we click on this edit button, we'll go to edit page, but there is no get request for this edit page, so we need to change it. We need to make a edit page. Okay, so go to this put request. We need to create another request, that would be get request. Okay, copy and paste it above here, and in here this should be a get request players update and ID. Okay, that's perfect. The query will be changed, and for this edit page get request, actually we want to show something on the get request, so we need to have a get method. Okay, so let's change the SQL query. We don't need those anymore. We want to do like this: select name and club from players, name of our table, where ID is this ID we get from our URL. Okay, and let's comment this. Actually we don't want to redirect from here, and this is not successfully inserted. Base.render, we can create a new views for edit.ejs. so let's create it. Control S, inside views let's create a edit page, ejs. Okay, actually we need to create another one, add.ejs. this add, we can create a form for this add. I want to copy a very simple form from Bootstrap. Go to this forms and form control. I want to copy this one and paste it inside add.ejs. At first let's add the data by using form. Okay, the label will be name and club, name, and second one will be club. Actually let's get rid of this second one. Okay, add this form attribute or form tag. This class will be form, and this action, for now it is blank, make it blank, and the method will be, of course it is a post method. You see on the players, we want to request to this route, this post route. So this is a post request, and the endpoint is players dash add. Okay, so let's add this endpoint to our action will be /API/player add. Okay, now in between here let's take it inside here, and name for Control D for multiple selection, name, this ID are for same name. Okay, this is not an email, so this would be type of text. Placeholder will be enter your name. Okay, let me copy this and paste it below, and this would be club, enter your club, in the place of id name, so let's change it, Ctrl D, club, and there will be another one. This would be, there will be no label and input type of submit, and placeholder, there will be no placeholder IDs, or I want to add few classes to this input. Class will be button, button primary, and okay, we have successfully made our form, but this form will not work because we don't have a get request for this form. So let's make a get request for add. Okay, let me copy this and paste it above here. This would be a, actually let me get rid of this query, and actually let me get rid of everything in here. Instead of post, this would be a get request, and render response dot render add.ejs. okay, let's try it out. /add, take this form inside container, Ctrl X, Ctrl V, save it, button primary. And how do we get value from this form? Actually, to get value from this form, we need to set an attribute inside our input, tag. Okay, the attribute is name. Name will be name. You can set any name you want, but I want to set it name as it's similar to the player name. Okay, and inside club input, I want to set attribute of name is club. Okay, now inside our player.js, you can see in post request we are getting by using request body name and request body club. This name is coming from this input attribute name. Okay, you can, for example, if you set player, you need to set player here as well. Okay, but I want to go with name, so let's go with name, save it, and it is action is going to API players add post request. Let's see the post request. Post request is API players add. This is a post request, and this is where when we submit the form, this is where it is hitting on this route. Okay, so let's enter something. Player name will be Luis Suarez, and club Atletico Madrid. Add player. Okay, it is successfully redirecting to the home page. API players, you see now it is showing players. We have Luis Suarez, Atletico Madrid. Okay, now this TD should be inside only on. Okay, this two button should be inside on TD tag. Okay, and this A tag should be in here. Okay, and this BG of danger, since we are deleting, we are wanting to delete. Okay, let's try it for update. let me copy everything from add, paste it inside update or edit, paste it here. We need one thing, that is method override npm. Okay, because using browser there are two types of requests are supported, get and post, but we want to make a put request. You see on the player.js we want to go to this put request, so we need to a package, that is method override. So let's copy it on your terminal, install it. Ctrl Shift V, install it. How to use this method override? You see there is some instruction for using method overrides. Let me copy this line and paste it inside your app.js. Okay, below this layout, actually I want to do const instead of var. This is a modern JavaScript thing. Okay, and we want this middleware. Okay, let's place it in the below here. Now inside this edit page, in the action you have to put an / ? and in here underscore method is equal put. Okay, this thing you need to add for method overriding. Okay, that's fine. Open your browser and reload the page. Go to edit. We want to edit messy, but no data is showing in the name or club. We want to show something in here. Okay, so go to players.js, in the put request update. We want to update. This is the get request we are making, so we need to see, we are selecting name and club. We want to paste it in our view engine. Okay, so player is result. Okay, now go to edit.ejs. Okay, we have to use it in the input field. In the input field there we have to add one more attribute, that is value. Value is equal, this will get from player.name. Let me copy this thing and paste it inside the club input in here. Okay, name instead of name, let's make it club. Save it. Okay, here is the problem. In our result, this is an array, so we need to set the first value of our array. So save it, first value by using 0. Okay, save it and reload the page. This is the endpoint API players update 12. 12 is the ID. Okay, so this is actually, let me change it to update player. This is add player to update player. Save it and let me reload the page once again. FC Barcelona, in the place of FC Barcelona, let's make it only Barcelona and update the player. Okay, it's saying something went wrong, cannot put player. Okay, here is the problem. We need to put update. Save it. Okay, here I think we also need ID along with name and club, and here we passing ID, that ID. Okay, now we need to set this ID inside our views. So go to EJS. After this update we need to paste this actually, copy it and paste it here. Instead of name you need to put ID. Okay, when anyone submit for the update player, it will go to this URL update / the ID. Now let's check that API endpoint. This is that API endpoint. Okay, updating player, everything looks perfect. Okay, let's try it out. Once again, open your browser, reload the page. From here, let's edit our hazard, hidden hazard, make it hidden hazard, update player. It's updating perfectly. Okay, now the very last thing left is deleting a player. So deleting a player is very much similar to updating. So let me copy and paste it here. We need to change our query. Const this query would be delete from players where ID is equal a question mark. This ID will get from here. Okay, and we don't need this name and club. Okay, we only need ID to delete any player from the database. Okay, so let's try it out. At first, go to the index.ejs. From here, you see inside TD I have created two link a tag. Actually, one of them should be form for submitting to delete a player. Okay, form, and the form class, actually I don't need any class, and action would be delete / API players and delete. And this is a post request, but we also need to post here the player ID. Let me check once again what is the URL. It would be delete, and instead of put, this should be delete. Okay, we also need ID here, update delete question mark. In this place of question mark, just copy the player ID and paste it here for deleting. Okay, after that / underscore method is equal delete. Remember, I said browser only support get and post request, but we are requesting for update and delete also. That's why we are overriding the method. We don't need this delete link anymore. In here, we need to set an input. Here, before this underscore method, there should be a question mark. Save it. Once again, reload the page. Reload this page and delete hidden hazard. Deleting, but something went wrong here. Let me check what's wrong. It's saying you have error in SQL syntax. That means something went wrong with SQL. Delete from players where ID spelling was wrong. Let me reload the page once again. Delete hidden hazard and deleted successfully and redirected to the same page. That's all for this tutorial. If you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe. I have teach you how to show all the records, how to delete any items, how to update and how to add a record. Okay, that's all stands for CRUD. If you like this video, please like. Thank you for watching.